With the flags of neighbours and one-time close friends fluttering, the Prime Minister's limousine arrives at the White House. President Trump meeting him at the door. The two leaders then held a sprawling conversation with the media, President Trump dominating the discussion and insisting he would still like to see Canada become the 51st state of the United States.
You know, as a real estate developer, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said that's the way it was meant to be. But I do feel it's much better for Canada.
As you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
President Trump said he would not change his mind on the tariffs he's introduced against the U.S.'s second largest trading partner.
We, because of past thinking of people, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. In other words, they have a surplus with us. And there's no reason for us to be subsidizing Canada.
There is no U.S. subsidy of Canada, but the Prime Minister did not publicly contradict the President on the falsehood, preferring to take a wider view.
There are much bigger forces involved, and this will take some time and some discussions, and that's why we're here, to have those discussions.
On the face of it, the leaders engaged amicably. There was no public indication of whether the two countries hashed out their differences privately or whether the talks focused on the specific or the general. But if the Prime Minister was hoping to get the US President to change tack on tariffs, it would appear he left the White House empty-handed. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.